Inside the warm glow of a neighborhood sushi-ya, every customer froze. The head chef's voice cut through the silence like a knife.
Rin, this piece isn't on the menu. What were you thinking?
Rin's hands trembled at her sides, but she didn't answer. The secret dish lay between them, a silent testimony.
I've warned you before. Serve off-menu items again, and you're out for good.
That dish, it was meant for me. But why? Why would she risk her job for this?
The piece of sushi sat untouched, a delicate work of art that no one had ordered.
I can't stop now. There's still so much left to serve.
I've been coming here for 8 years. This apprentice showed up last month, and suddenly, off-menu dishes every visit.
Clean up your station. If I find anything not on the menu again, you are finished.
I'll find a way. No matter what he says.
1 week earlier, the sushi-ya was quieter. The dinner rush faded. Kenta sat at his usual spot, the wooden counter cool under his arms. The new apprentice, Rin, moved like a shadow behind the counter, her white headband catching the amber light. She approached and set down a small plate, an extra piece of nigiri, unlike anything on the menu. Her fingers trembled around the edges.
Please, please eat this.
For me? I didn't order anything extra.
It's please, just this once.
Is this some new off-menu special? The chef's experiment?
She shook her head once, eyes fixed on the floor, refusing to say more.
All right, 1 bite. It's just sushi. But why does my heart feel strange? That flavor. Thank you. That was incredible. I don't even have words.
Rin bowed so deeply it was almost an apology. As she retreated, Kenta stared at the empty plate, already wondering what she'd bring next time. Over the next few visits, a quiet ritual began. Each time Kenta sat down, Rin slipped him something extra, a single piece, unannounced. The dishes changed each visit. A delicate whitefish, a rich mackerel with a secret glaze, a roll wrapped in persimmon leaf.
She's been doing this every time. Is it just for me? No one else seems to get these. Is this something new you are working on? I didn't see it on the menu.
Rin only shook her head, a faint blush rising, and quickly turned back to the kitchen.
She won't say a word. Why the secrecy? It's not like she's charging me extra.
The head chef began to notice. His gaze lingered on Rin whenever she approached Kenta's seat.
That look in the chef's eyes. It's like he's waiting for a mistake. This is dangerous for her.
He's watching. I have to be more careful. But I made a promise. I can't stop.
And so the secret continued, with the weight of the chef's silent warning pressing down on both of them. The head chef's patience finally cracked. He summoned Rin to the back alley, his voice cold and final.
No more secret dishes. You follow the menu, or you clear out your locker by morning.
But chef, please. I'm not hurting anyone. They're just small extras.
You undermine the menu. You undermine my kitchen. My rules are absolute. No discussion.
Kenta had stepped out for air and heard every word through the thin wall. His chest tightened.
This is my fault. I should have refused that first piece. Now she's on the verge of losing everything.
If I tell him why, it'll only get more complicated. I can't drag anyone else into this. Just endure.
I'll be watching every plate you prepare. One wrong move, and you're gone. Do you understand?
Kenta slipped back inside, the weight of guilt pressing on him. He couldn't meet Rin's eyes when she returned.
I want to ask her why, but if I push her now, I might push her out of a job. I need to stay quiet.
The next evening, Kenta returned to the sushi-ya, the memory of the alley confrontation still fresh. The air felt thick with unspoken warnings.
The head chef was already watching from the kitchen entrance. That stare could cut glass.
Rin moved like a shadow behind the counter. A single piece of nigiri appeared before him, unannounced as always.
I can't accept this. He'll fire you. If the chef sees, you are finished.
Please, just one more time. It's important. For both of us.
Why is she doing this? The risk is madness. Her desperation feels almost personal.
He lifted the piece, the chef's glare burning into his back. The air seemed to still.
What is this flavor? Bright and sharp, yet comforting. How does she do this?
He left the sushi-ya, the taste still on his tongue and guilt heavy in his chest. The night air felt colder than before.
Every time I eat, I am putting her job on the line. I have to stop coming.
A week passed. Kenta stayed away from the sushi-ya, but the secret dishes haunted him in the quiet of his apartment. He couldn't escape the taste.
That last piece, the tang of citrus, the hint of sesame. It felt like a memory I couldn't quite reach.
He opened a drawer and took out a framed photo. His wife, Aiko, smiling in their old kitchen. His chest tightened.
Aiko used to experiment with flavors like that. She'd spend hours mixing sauces no one had tried before.
He thought of a day they visited a shrine together. Her laughter as she said food was her way of giving love.
Could Rin's dishes? Is there a connection? It sounds insane, but the flavor, it's not just similar. It's her.
Grief and curiosity tangled inside him. He set the photo down gently, staring at it, as if waiting for an answer.
I have to stop avoiding this. I need to ask Rin, face to face, even if the truth hurts.
The decision settled into his bones. He would go back to the sushi-ya, not for a meal, but for the truth.
Aiko, maybe this is your way of sending me a sign. I won't let it go unanswered.
The next morning, Kenta arrived at the sushi-ya before opening. Through the window, he saw Rin alone, wiping the counter with practiced care. He stepped inside. The door chimed too loud in the silence. Rin jumped, clutching her towel.
I am sorry to startle you, but I need an answer. Why do you make those secret dishes just for me?
Rin's face went pale, then flushed crimson. Her lips parted, but no sound came.
It's because...
Rin, why is a customer in here before we open? You know the rules.
The chef's voice cut like a blade. Rin flinched, then fled into the kitchen without a backward glance. Kenta stood frozen, the weight of her half-finished sentence ringing in his ears.
She knows something about Aiko. I was right. But how and why hide it?
He knew now. Rin was the key to something he had lost. He would not let her disappear without the full story. Later that evening, the sushi-ya filled with the hum of dinner service. Kenta sat at the far end, hoping to catch Rin alone again.
Rin, you served the wrong sauce to table 4 again. This is basic training. Do I need to watch you like a child?
The chatter died. Customers paused, chopsticks hovering, all eyes on Rin. Her face flushed crimson as she stood frozen.
He's doing this in public. It's not about a sauce mistake. It's about breaking her will. This is cruel. Chef, that's enough. Everyone makes mistakes. She doesn't deserve to be humiliated like this.
Before the chef could retort, Rin locked eyes with Kenta. She shook her head desperately and mouthed a silent plea.
She's begging me to stop. Why? Is she protecting me or herself?
Kenta's shoulders dropped. The fight bled out of him, and he sank back onto his stool, the defiance smothered.
I came here for answers, but she won't let me near them. Now, I am just a spectator to her pain. I am shut out by the chef, by Rin. Maybe I should just walk away from all of this.
He never returned to the sushi-ya. He told himself it was best. His presence only hurt her.
But the absence ached. I craved the secret flavors, the quiet ritual between us.
His kitchen was silent, unused for years. The emptiness pressed against his ribs.
Aiko once filled this space. Now it was a tomb of unfinished recipes.
Rainy days blurred. He walked numbly, letting the water hide the grief.
Staying away was supposed to protect her. It only hollowed me out.
2 weeks gone. The sushi ya was a distant dream. He hadn't tasted life since.
Was she fired? Did my absence worsen things? The questions clawed at night.
He drifted, anchorless. The photo of Aiko on the shelf stared, waiting.
I have to go back. Not now, but soon. This can't be the end.
On the 15th evening, Kenta found himself walking toward the familiar lantern light. His feet moved before his mind could object. He slid open the door. The counter was quiet. Rin's white headband nowhere in sight. Only the head chef stood by the kitchen arch.
Where is Rin? Is she off today?
She quit last week, said she had something she needed to do. Left this for you.
He took the box, his hands numb. The wood felt ancient, heavy with secrets. Inside, rolled in silk, was a handwritten scroll. The paper crackled as he unrolled it. At the top, in elegant ink, it read, Aiko's collection. His lungs forgot how to breathe.
This is her handwriting. Aiko's, but it's not just hers. There are two. Who helped her?
He looked up, desperate for explanation. The chef only crossed his arms. Rin was gone, but she had left him a map made of memories and a question that would not let him rest. Kenta rushed home, the wooden box clutched to his chest. On his desk, he unrolled the scroll with trembling care, the paper whispering under his fingers. The recipes flowed in two different handwritings. One slant was unmistakable, Aiko's cheerful, looping script. The other was neater, almost reverent.
White soy and yuzu. Kelp-cured amberjack. These were her dream dishes. She was planning a whole collection.
At the bottom of the final recipe, in that second, careful handwriting, for Kenta, from Rin. His lungs seized.
Rin knew Aiko. She's been recreating her recipes all along. That's why every bite felt like a memory.
The scroll held 20 recipes in total. Half of them matched the secret dishes Rin had served him. Each visit a careful step.
She was working through them, one visit at a time. But why? What drove her to risk everything for a stranger's flavors?
He glanced at Aiko's photo on the shelf. The answer wasn't on the paper. Rin held the missing piece.
The scroll mentioned a small market town to the north. Rin said she had something to do. That might be where she went. I'll find you, Rin. This story isn't over. Not until I understand what you and Aiko shared.
The morning train carried him north, through rice fields and into a small market town. Aiko's scroll rested under his coat like a secret. At the station, a fruit vendor squinted at the recipes and pointed toward the river market. A new food stall, run by a girl with a headband.
A new food stall. It has to be Rin. She's still cooking, even after everything she faced.
Between a tea shop and a potter's wheel, a tiny sushi stall hid under a blue norin. One customer sat at the worn counter.
That white headband, those hands shaping rice. It's definitely her. She's really here.
Rin placed a slice of gleaming fish on rice with quiet precision. Rolled sleeves, no jacket, just her apron and stubborn focus.
She survived. After the public humiliation, she started over alone. Why does she keep fighting like this?
The customer paid and left. The stall fell silent for a moment. Kenta's throat tightened.
What do I even say? I found your scroll. Please decode my wife's handwriting. This is insane.
He pushed aside the norin. Rin glanced up from her cutting board, and their eyes met, the world narrowing to her trembling lips. Rin's knife clattered onto the board. Her face went from recognition to raw terror, as if seeing a ghost.
Rin, can we talk? Just for a moment. I came all this way.
You found me, after everything I put you through.
The market noise faded. She gestured weakly to the stool across from her, her eyes wet with a glaze she couldn't blink away.
I am not here to blame you. I just need to understand.
I've been carrying something heavy. I don't know if I can let it out.
Her hands gripped the wooden table edge, knuckles bone white. The silence stretched like a held breath.
It's about my wife, isn't it? Aiko. How do you know her?
Your wife knew my mother. They were friends.
And there, in that tiny stall, the first thread of a story that bound two families began to unwind.
Your wife, Aiko. She and my mother used to dream about opening a sushi place together. They filled a notebook with wild creations.
A notebook? My wife never told me she had a collaborator. What happened to it?
The image of two young women laughing over a cutting board flickered in his mind. A chapter of Aiko's life he never knew existed.
After my mother passed, I found it. Recipes in two handwritings, one labeled Aiko's collection. That's when I recognized your name.
The notebook was worn, pages stained with soy sauce, and hope. A collaboration frozen in time.
On my first day at the sushi-ya, I saw you sitting at the counter. I knew I had to serve you every single one of those recipes.
This isn't just a random act. It's a message from Aiko, delivered by the daughter of her friend.
I am sorry I didn't ask permission. I wanted to give you that piece of her back.
Tears traced down her cheeks, mixing with the salt of her own sacrifice. The weight she had carried was finally shared. Kenta stared at her, the truth now a bridge between them. The question was no longer why, but what do we do next? Rin reached beneath the counter and brought out a worn, stained notebook. She pushed it toward Kenta with trembling hands.
This is what my mother left me. Every recipe I served you is in here. Aiko's handwriting and hers, together.
He opened to a page where two distinct hands had composed a single dish. His wife's looping letters next to a neater script.
Aiko's dream, frozen in ink. So many years I never knew.
When I saw your name, I had to finish what they started. One piece for each recipe, until the collection was complete.
The image of their mother's hands shaping rice together flickered through the stall. A silent vow finally fulfilled.
You carried this burden alone, risking your job, just to give me back something I didn't know was missing.
I am so sorry for deceiving you. I just wanted to honor them. To honor her.
Her fingers traced the faded ink, as if touching the memories bound in the paper. The story was fully laid on the wooden table between them, but the next chapter remained unwritten. A long silence passed, broken only by the distant hum of the market. Kenta's throat burned, his eyes fixed on the last piece of sushi on the counter.
That one is the final recipe. I was going to serve it to you if you ever came back.
Without a word, Kenta lifted the piece. The rice was warm, the fish glistening with a yuzu glaze. He bit into it. The flavor exploded. Citrus, ocean, and something achingly familiar, like laughter in a sunlit kitchen.
This is the taste of the day she said she'd love me forever. How did Rin capture something so intangible?
The dam inside him shattered. He set the chopsticks down, shoulders shaking, and for the first time in years, let the grief pour out.
Thank you. I thought I'd lost all of her, but you gave me a piece back.
He's crying because of something I made. I don't know if this is joy or sorrow, but I finally understand.
These 2 years, I've been wandering without direction. I didn't know what I was missing until now.
The market noise returned, but inside that small stall, time felt suspended between grief and an unexpected, fragile lightness. Kenta's gaze swept over the cramped stall. Worn cutting board, mismatched chairs, a single lantern. The dream here was fragile, held together by stubborn hope.
Rin, how have you been managing this stall? It can't be easy all by yourself.
It's been hard. Some days I barely break even, but I couldn't let go of their recipes, my mother's and Aiko's.
She's pouring everything into this. Aiko's legacy deserves more than a struggling stall. Let me help you grow this. I want to invest, turn it into a real restaurant. For Aiko and your mother.
Kenta, that's too much. I can't ask that of you. This was my burden to carry.
It's not a burden. It's an inheritance we both share. Let me help finish what they started, together.
What if I fail? I already disappointed you with the secrecy.
You won't fail. We'll build it, step by step, as partners. No more hiding, no more secrets.
The afternoon light slanted through the Norin, catching the dust motes. An old collaboration was about to find a new home.
Then, yes, let's do it, together. I can't carry this alone anymore, and I don't want to.
Their hands met across the worn counter. A firm, warm grip that sealed more than a business deal.
Aiko, if you can see this. I think I understand now. Some recipes aren't meant to be eaten alone. We'll keep all 20 recipes. But for the grand opening, we need 2 that carry her name. A direct statement.
The white soy and yuzu was her brightest smile. And the kelp-cured amberjack, that was her boldest dream.
Then there'll be Aiko's joy and Aiko's dream. Simple, like she always wanted.
On the fresh menu board, below the wood grain, the 2 names settled like a promise fulfilled.
The old chef would have a heart attack if he saw this secret menu.
Then we won't invite him. We'll serve every dish with the one thing his kitchen never had.
With a clean counter and a full heart, the next chapter began, not in the shadows, but under the open market sky. Months later, the stall had bloomed. A new awning stretched overhead, and a line of customers wound past the neighboring shops, waiting for a taste of something secret. Each plate left the counter with precision. Beside the soy sauce, a small framed photo of Aiko watched over every dish, her smile undimmed.
Every day I see her smile now. It doesn't erase the pain, but we've learned to cook with it.
Kenta no longer sat at the counter as a customer. He wiped tables, refilled tea, and sometimes just watched the rhythm of the kitchen.
Try the Aiko's dream. It was her boldest creation, and it still surprises me.
I never imagined we'd have a line out the door. Some of these customers come back every week.
He took a bite of the joy, and the citrus burst carried a note of her laughter. The grief was still there, but it no longer drowned him.
You know, the old chef would have a fit if he knew how many off-menu items we serve now.
The sun dipped below the market rooftops, and the stall glowed like a lantern. The promise made by 2 young friends had finally found its vessel.
Somewhere, Aiko is still cooking, and I think she's smiling.
One quiet afternoon, when the market crowd had thinned, Kenta sat alone at the counter with a single plate of Aiko's joy. The citrus bloomed on his tongue. He closed his eyes, and the tangled sounds of the market melted into a warm, distant hum.
There you are. I almost forgot what it felt like to taste you.
Behind his eyelids, the scent of yuzu and warm rice carried a laughter he hadn't heard in years. He opened his eyes, and the world returned softly. Across the counter, Rin stood without her apron, a knowing smile on her lips.
We don't need words. She already knows everything.
Neither spoke. The silence between them was not empty. It brimmed with the unspoken promises that had brought them here.
I am not alone anymore, and neither are you, Aiko.
He glanced at the small photo on the counter, her smile unchanged. The weight that had pressed on his chest for 2 years felt suddenly lighter. 2 families, 2 generations, and 1 shared taste. Love never truly leaves the kitchen. It just waits for someone to remember the recipe. The stall now had a name above the awning: Aiko's Counter. Customers came and went, but the heart of the place remained unchanged. Kenta stopped by most evenings. No longer carrying the weight of grief, Rin would hand him a plate without a word, and he would simply smile.
I still remember that first piece. The way she trembled when she served it. I never imagined it would lead here.
Sometimes, after closing, he would catch his own reflection in the window and see a man who had learned to live with loss, not under it.
Do you think they'd be proud? Our mothers? I mean.
They're probably arguing about who added too much yuzu, but yeah, they'd be proud.
The night markets bloomed around them, but inside the small stall, time felt soft and full.
This is enough. This quiet, this kitchen, this second chance.
Petals drifted past the Norin. Another season was turning, but the recipes remained, unbroken, unending. and no one would ever eat off the menu again without tasting the love hidden behind it. A single piece of sushi rested on the well-worn counter, bathed in the soft gold of a spring morning. A small wooden tag stood beside it. The characters read Aiko's joy brushed in familiar, delicate strokes. Cherry blossom petals drifted through the open stall, one spinning down to settle silently beside the plate. The rice was flawless, each grain holding its place. The slice of fish glistened like a jewel catching the low sun. No one was there to eat it. The dish waited, a silent offering to the spring air and the memory it held. Outside, the old cherry tree showered pink petals like confetti, and the market murmured with quiet life. The name on the tag was enough. Aiko's joy had outlived her, carried forward in grains of rice and salt. A breeze spun the loose petal away, but the tag stayed upright. Anchored by the quiet weight of the plate, the sushi remained, a small universe of flavor, a love letter passed from two mothers to a humble wooden counter, and in the silence, the kitchen kept her recipe alive, one blossom at a time.